Among the Igbo people, the placenta is a powerful symbol. It carries the child's spirit and must be handled with utmost care. Mama Ada, the wise matriarch of the family, teaches Chimamanda and Emeka about the sacredness of this duty, reminding them that it must only be entrusted to someone they can truly trust. In the dim light of her ancestral home, Mama Ada speaks in low, deliberate tones, her voice carrying the weight of centuries-old wisdom. The younger generation listens closely, understanding that the traditions of their people are not just customs, but the very essence of life itself. The moment has come. In the early hours of the morning, Chimamanda feels the first pangs of labor. Emeka rushes her to Umuahia General Hospital, the town's trusted facility, as the sun rises over the hills of their ancestral home. All eyes are on her, as the sacred process of bringing new life into the world begins. Hours pass, and finally, the cries of a newborn echo through the hospital halls. Chimamanda has given birth to a healthy baby girl, and for a brief moment, all is well. The couple smiles, knowing their lives have just changed forever, but joy soon turns to confusion. As Chimamanda rests, Nurse Ngozi informs them that something strange has happened. The placenta is missing. The hospital staff claims a stray dog entered the ward and took it, an explanation that leaves the family baffled and uneasy. Mama Ada, a woman who knows the power of the placenta, senses something is wrong. Her heart grows heavy with suspicion. In her eyes, this is no mere accident. The sacred placenta, the child's glory, is gone, and she will stop at nothing to find out the truth. Determined to uncover what really happened, Mama Ada confronts the hospital staff. She is not one to be easily fooled, and she knows that in matters of the spirit, there is always more than meets the eye. Her voice is steady but filled with urgency as she questions the nurses, pushing them for answers. Unsatisfied with the hospital's response, Mama Ada takes matters into her own hands. She heads to the Umuahia police station, where Detective Okike, a man known for his fairness and diligence, listens to her story. He understands the gravity of the situation, for in this town, tradition and law must walk hand in hand. The investigation begins, but the truth remains elusive. Mama Ada's resolve only strengthens as she seeks help from trusted members of the community, for the protection of her grandchild's spirit depends on uncovering what really happened. Detective Okiki, now fully immersed in the investigation, arrives at the hospital with his team. He questions the nurses and the staff, looking for any sign of foul play. His questions grow sharper as suspicion falls on Nurse Ngozi, the last person to handle the placenta. The hospital staff is uneasy, but they remain tight-lipped. No one seems willing to admit what truly transpired. As the pressure mounts, the lines between modern medicine and the spiritual significance of birth blur, leaving everyone on edge. Knowing that the answers may lie beyond the realm of the physical, Mama Ada turns to Obina, the town's respected dibia. In his dimly lit shrine, filled with ancient relics and the smell of burning herbs, Obina consults the spirits for guidance. His eyes gleam with otherworldly insight as he begins the sacred process of divination. After hours of ritual, Obina delivers his verdict. The placenta was not taken by a dog. It was sold by someone within the hospital. The revelation shakes Mama Ada, but it only confirms what she had suspected all along. The dark forces are at work, and she must act swiftly to save her grandchild's spirit. Armed with the knowledge of the Dibia's revelation, Mama Ada returns to the hospital with renewed determination. She confronts Nurse Ngozi, this time with spiritual power on her side. Using a special powder given to her by Obina, Mama Ada forces the truth to surface. Under the influence of the powder, Nurse Ngozi's guilt can no longer be hidden. Her voice trembles as she confesses that she sold the placenta to a ritualist, lured by the promise of wealth. The weight of her betrayal hangs heavy in the air as she realizes the grave consequences of her actions. With the confession in hand, Detective Okeke leads his team to track down the ritualist responsible for the crime. Under the cover of night, They move swiftly, torches lighting the way as they approach a secluded hut on the outskirts of Umuahia. The ritualist, a man known for his dealings in dark magic, is taken by surprise. As the handcuffs click around his wrists, the power he thought he wielded fades away. The town can finally breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that justice is being served. News of the ritualist's arrest spreads quickly through Umuahia, shaking the community to its core. Families gather in their compounds, whispering about the betrayal and the dark forces at play. The people of Umuahia are no strangers to the power of the spiritual world, but this violation of tradition leaves a deep scar. As Mama Ada recounts the events to the younger generation, the elders nod in agreement. The message is clear. Vigilance is the price of tradition, and the sacred rights of life must be honored at all costs. The community resolves to ensure that such a betrayal never happens again. The consequences of Nurse Ngozi's actions go far beyond her confession. In the days following her arrest, she begins to lose her grip on reality. Tormented by guilt and haunted by the spirits, her mind unravels, leaving her a shell of the woman she once was. The damage may have been done, but all is not lost. Obinna, the wise Dibia, returns to the family to perform the necessary cleansing rituals. In a quiet ceremony under the watchful gaze of the ancestors, the child's glory is restored. As the family gathers around, chanting prayers and offering sacrifices, the spiritual burden is lifted. The rituals serve as a reminder of the thin veil between the physical and spiritual realms, and the importance of protecting the most sacred parts of life. Having endured this harrowing experience, Mama Ada takes it upon herself to educate the younger generation. In the cool evening air of the village square, she speaks to a circle of young people, her voice steady and full of wisdom. "This is the legacy of our ancestors," she says, her eyes scanning the faces of the youth. "The placenta, the umbilical cord, the blood of birth, they are all sacred. Never forget this lesson, for it will protect you and the generations to come." The youth listen carefully, understanding the gravity of her words. Time moves forward, and with it comes new hope. Chimamanda is pregnant again, and this time, the family takes every precaution to ensure the proper handling of the placenta. Mama Ada oversees the process with the care of a guardian, determined to protect her family's legacy. The birth is a joyous occasion, free from the shadow of the past. The community gathers to celebrate not just the new life, but the reaffirmation of their traditions. In Umuahia, where the spiritual and physical worlds are forever intertwined, the people know that through vigilance, love, and respect for their ancestors, they will always prevail.